So obviously this has been a big shakeup. We wanted to address that quickly, but we don't want to take too much time because we're here to have fun and look at some cool stuff you guys haven't seen yet. But yeah, about the pulling it off the channel and moving to digital exclusively. It's part of this huge sea change, really, in the whole industry. I mean, you guys, I'm sure you've seen articles of cable cutters, and we're seeing digital streaming. Uh, Companies doing their own content and winning Emmys and all sorts of stuff. So obviously, we're in the midst of this big change, and things have changed just for us between when we did Avatar between 2005 and 2008 when those aired, and then when we came back on the air in 2012. When book one of Korra came out, it did pretty good numbers on TV, but its online presence was just insane. Not only the chatter from all the fans all over the world, but the actual numbers in terms of digital downloads, digital streaming, they've just been huge. And as this show has gone along, by the time we got to book two, the numbers of the digital streaming, they greatly outweighed what was happening on the channel. It's no secret that Avatar, and especially Korra, aren't typical kind of Nickelodeon fare. And so they've had kind of a hard time trying to fit it into their programming. But basically, the book two finale, the numbers were insane. They were when they streamed it, when it went on Nick.com, it was the biggest streaming event they had the entire year. And that show for digital downloads, or that season was amazing. So, and then obviously, as you've seen, not so much on the channel. So it's just part of this shift over. It definitely caught us by surprise. It wasn't necessarily done in the smoothest way, and that was upsetting to many of you and to us as well. So yeah, it's moving over to digital. It was a plan that was kind of in place earlier. They changed course and then they went back to it. So it all kind of happened in a little bit of a messy way. But thanks for sticking with us. The show is not canceled.
Yeah, the thing we definitely want you guys to understand is that it really has no effect on what the show is or the stories we're telling, because we've finished the writing for the series, we've finished all the pre-production, and we're just doing post, and Studio Mirror is finishing the animation. So other than it not being on the Nickelodeon main channel, nothing has changed. You're going to get to see it, which is the important thing. And you can they're going to start putting it online starting next Friday, so August 1st. And then there's going to be a new episode every week after that until August 22nd when they do the two-part season 3 finale. So. And then hopefully DVD of book 3 will be out by the end of the year. So
yeah,
you will be able to see it.
So let's have fun. Let's get on with it. So we're gonna show you guys an episode that has not aired, and as I've been known to say, it's a doozy. I know some of you. We don't know how to make a show where it's entertaining and exciting, but nothing bad ever happens. Not sure how to do that yet. So without any further ado, hope you enjoy this episode.
Yeah.
And this was written by Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton.
Josh, you here?
Josh is somewhere here.
Over there. And then
Directed by Colin Heck.
Colin Heck directed it, but he's not here. Let's go.
Korra, these are some questions that fans submitted online, and someone named John was wondering, for Janet, how would you rate Korra's job as the Avatar so far? How do you think she's doing?
Well, I'll say that this is a question that I get asked a lot at the cons that I do, and sometimes it's put really nicely, and sometimes it's put grumpily. Sometimes people are like, "Do you like Korra?" But I think the episode that we got a chance to watch is such a great example to me of she has some classic Korra moments where she gets a little snappish, but it's such a great example of how much she's come to understand that she may be the Avatar, but that doesn't mean that she can do her job alone. And it's just so exciting to see, the team together. And and so I think, I think she's on her journey. She's on the arc that Mike and Brian had always envisioned for her, and I'm proud of her. And she's infuriating and wonderful and strong and very human.
Yes. And David, we have a question about the voice acting process and what that's like, and when you guys get the scripts, do you have time to read it beforehand, and are you guys as emotionally compromised by these storylines as the fans seem to be when they see the shows?
When I first started the show, I would just rush to the script to find Mako. Where's Mako's lines? My lines. And as I became a fan, I started reading the scripts. So we got the scripts, I think, the night before, right? Usually we just get the scripts the night before we come in and record. And, and then we get in there, and we usually, sometimes we have the whole cast together when we're all available, which is great. We're all in the same room, and we got mics in front of us, and we've got our lines, and it's tremendous, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. And a little shout out to our voice director, Andrea Romano.
Andrea Romano. I miss her.
The best.
And Seychelles, so in the first episode of Book 3, we saw that Korra and Asami are now like BFFs, right? So how have you seen Korra and Asami's like friendship developing and seeing them like start as rivals, but now they're kind of friends and stuff? You enjoyed playing that?
I love it. My parents were actually especially fond of that scene in the car. They had seen the episode before me, and they were like, "Oh my God, Korra and Asami are so cute." I was like, "What?" Because it takes so long, sometimes I forget what happens, and I'm surprised by the storylines I already know. But I'm happy. At any instance where two girls can like not let a guy get in between them, I think is a good thing. I think they're.
Hey, now wait a minute.
I think they're maturing.
There is a guy between you two right now.
Right in the middle.
But yeah, no, I'm happy for them. I think they're stronger together, and they make Team Avatar better for it. Mako has to deal with the awkwardness, and we've gotten over that, so that's good.
Get over it, Mako.
The tables have turned.
And Mr. Higgins, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. So since you came in Book 2, one of my favorites. The humor he brings every time he comes is amazing. And this fan thought you were the most captivating character of the bunch.
Oh, good heavens.
No offense to Janet and the others, they want to point out. What do you think makes Varric a truly unique character in the Avatar universe?
Well, first of all, I want to say how thrilled I am to be a part of this universe. All of a sudden, I'm amazed about what I'm seeing today right in front of me. I honestly thought I was going to be doing a press thing with about 20 people in the room. And that you can put many zeros behind that, apparently, and I'm really pleased to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, when my agent said, "Hey, they're doing this in Nickelodeon, you should go over there. It's this, airbending thing. It's really exciting." And I was like, "Great, it's not really part of my gig usually. So I get to fly around and bend cars with my face and that sort of thing." No, you're just sort of an asshole who talks too much. That's what I do all day long. That's every job. No, I think part of the fun of Varric, particularly seeing it now, yet another episode, is that he does sort of bridge the gap between our world and the other world in an interesting way. He's sort of part, Rupert Murdoch and Thomas Edison and Bozo the Clown all rolled together. And I think he's captivating because he has so little respect, basically, for all the magic and wonder and power and mightiness that's going on around him. He regards it as either helpful or not helpful to him and what he needs to do. So It's a fascinating character, and he is constantly surprising me, and I think he surprises the writers as well. And it's always so fun to show up and in the room and see this completely odd paragraph, I have to say out loud, and it's like, okay, here we go. I remember one episode particularly that I liked. I think it's later in the series though.
Be careful.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I know, I'm not gonna do it. Where it talks about his childhood. It is beyond belief. So.
Oh, wait for that story. Yeah. Awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. So we got a really special question here, and I'll give credit to Brian O'Meara for asking this. You've inspired us. So he had a question that said, can we have the voice actors sing Secret Tunnel as their characters? Which I think we can do that. But before we do that, I want to invite a special guest to the panel. You might know him as the voice of Naga, Pabu, Tarlok, every other animal in the universe. Deep Bradley Baker. Coming up.
There he is.
He's doing the loop. There you go.
Sing him all the way around.
All right.
D, you can fly, right?
He is having trouble getting to the stage, but yes.
We also need your help with this.
Must be
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
D played the original character Chong from Book 2 of Avatar.
All right, there was the song. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right, let's cue the clip.
Cue the clip.
And Chong's gonna sing?
Sean singing it.
We're all going.
okay.
Roll quick, please.
So I'll sing along, everybody. It's a story about a secret pass right through the mountains. Yeah.
Is this real or a legend?
Oh, it's a real legend, and it's as old as earthbending itself. Two lovers forbidden from one another, the war divides their people, and the mountain divides them apart. They'll have to be together. Yeah, I forget the next couple lines, but there it goes. Secret tunnel, secret tunnel, through the mountains, secret tunnel.
Here's the first concept piece I did for Zahir. After books 1 and 2, I thought, Tarlok and Unalak kind of looked the same, so I wanted to do something very different. So I went for sort of an MMA fighter, kind of catch wrestling guy. So I wanted him to be kind of bulky and have a different look. This is Ryu's concept that he did after mine, of course, complete with Ryu's crazy color combinations. Ryu, are you here? Buddy? There he is! Genius, Ryu. So then I did a concept. We knew he was going to be in prison for a long time. They probably didn't let him groom, so he's going to grow some hair. And Ryu did these incredible expression sheets of him when he's busting his buddy out of the barge. And then you can see his hair melt off here. That's what he's going to look like for the rest of the season. So you can see. If you ever think his ears look strange, like maybe they didn't draw him well, that was actually intentional. He's supposed to have cauliflower ear from a career of fighting. So there's Gazan. This is my first concept for him. I don't have any tattoos, but obviously I like drawing tattooed characters from Aang and Gazan. And so this Ryu's concepts are expression sheets of his head. And then I had to work out the tattoos. It's always tough because it's hard to do kind of graphic patterns moving over shapes, keeping them consistent. But these were fun to do. And then Ming Hua, favorite character of ours to conceive of and design. And this is based on, she's just basically my friend Michi, but Michi does have arms of flesh and bone, not of water. And so here are Ryu's incredible expression sheets for her. And then some of my, the model sheet just kind of explaining the different things she could do with her malleable water arms. And then Pui, another fun one to design. This is Angela Mueller. Are you here, Angela? Over there? Over there. There she is. It's Angela. So Angela was is an old friend and great character designer who worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender. And when she was going to work on Korra, I said, "Hey, take a stab at this like firebending assassin." And so she did this crazy kind of Elizabeth Salander looking character, and I liked it. And this is some cool heads she did for that. And I said, but let's make her 6'8". So this was my version of it based on her design, and then we kind of finished it together. And we have our next combustion bender. And so then when they're busting out Puli, we had to like give them winter costumes. So we kind of like winterized everybody. And Christy Sang, our other character designer, and Angie were turning in, different concepts. And Angie turned in this one for Zahir. She's like, oh, like really nonchalant. Oh, I've got some alternate ones too for you to consider.
Oh.
We were gonna go with the one on the right. We just thought it'd be a little too hard to animate. So. Yeah.
Oh, how can I unsee that?
Yeah. So then Ryu did, as you know, Zahir is voiced by legendary Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
As we like to call him, the most interesting man in the world. He's worn many hats, but he's he built his career as a legendary punk singer. So Ryu did this awesome. I see a spinoff. I don't know about you guys. I see a spinoff. So, and then we have the Metal Clan Suyin's family, which was really fun, doing this Art Deco city and Art Deco fashion and jewelry. So this was my first concept for her, and this is what we ended up with when she was in color. And her husband, Batar, you only see a little bit so far. He's the architect. And Batar Jr., I swear that expression looks like David Schwimmer to me. So.
Yeah, you only see Batar Jr. very briefly in the doorway, but he does exist.
So he works with his dad a lot on the city. And then Huan, aka Skrillex, that's what a lot of people call him. He was fun, very fun. And then we've got his final color. It was really fun doing all the different variations on this kind of like Utopia Art Deco outfits. Opal was really fun to design. I did her original concept. And then we've got her color model. She's kind of like a little flapper. And then Wing and Wei, aka Tom Lox and Saymot. They're kind of the mirror image twins. You'll notice their hair parts opposite, and their jewelry, all their little doodads are opposite of each other. They're fun. They really remind me of Josh, our writer. Kind of a cool bro. And then it's so tiny in the show, but I wanted to show you Sue's circus photo from when she joined the circus. So that's Suyin on the top there. And that was a fun one. You could see the little baby. They still have a little baby platypus bear.
Oh yeah.
Kristen Sang did that. And then the family photo. I hadn't had a chance to post that yet, but I always love seeing the family photos.
How do you do that?
Very cool, very cool.
Lots of amazing people. Good segue, because we want to thank our amazing crew and our amazing cast. And a shout out to our awesome producer, Karen Malik, who wrangled us all and got this thing done in a reasonable amount of time, so we appreciate it.
Yep.
And unfortunately, these panels go by too fast. We already got it. That's great.
Thank you.
I just wanted to thank everybody who really, camped out and slept in.
Yeah, thanks guys.
You guys are awesome.
And everybody who waited in line, we thank you guys so much for coming here. It's awesome.
You guys are the best.
Can you throw up my little thank you slide there, Eric? Can you, were you good?
Little
Yeah.
sneak peek
Thank you
for you.
guys. Thank you so much. We love you guys. This is likely our last big San Diego Comic-Con for Korra since the show is wrapping up. I know. We're likely going to be at New York Comic-Con if any of you can make it out there. But this is probably the last big Korra panel. So you guys are the best. We seriously love you, all of you.
Thank you so
Mike,
much.
Mike put together a special treat for you guys. So
And, yeah,
I'm gonna roll some.
enjoy, and hopefully we'll see some of you at the signing.